Welcome back to the Dota Radio Morning Show, presented by Dota Radio, the internet radio dedicated to Dota 2. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. We are here with episode number 10, coming at you bright and early, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here with the Dota Radio Morning Show, regular hour, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays is when we come at you guys live. Remember to tweet at us live during the show at ZyoriTV, at HippieCasting, or at the Dota Radio. Today is a very exciting episode. We are going to have none other than Fnatic No-Tail joining us in just a little bit here to talk about all sorts of things. We've got pages and pages and pages of questions we're ready to ask No-Tail. So the limit will be how much time he is willing to give us. We just saw that awesome Fnatic versus Rock's Kiss series. I caught the tail end of it right before the show started. So what better time to talk to someone from Fnatic after winning that best of 3 series? They're going to be going to China for the G League. Very exciting stuff. We're back with almost the regular suspects here. I'm Zyori, your show host. Hippie going to be joining us on the analysis desk, and our Master of Communications, Monolith, is back from Korea, but unfortunately had a last-minute IRL emergency, as it may be. So again, not going to be joining us, but his influence is here. He set up No-Tail, and oh god, I'm just so excited to talk to the master of the Meepo. So much Wisp talk coming up. Chris, how are you doing today, my friend? It's bright and early on this Monday morning.
It is indeed bright and early on a Monday morning, but seeing as we're about to talk about Dota for the better part of an hour and a half, I really couldn't be much happier.
That's a good way to think about it, my friend. And folks, remember, you can always visit us on the web, dotaradio.com/morning show. That's where you'll find everything you need to know about this show, the YouTube link, the iTunes link, all the past episodes. And, of course, it is a simulcast. You can get the audio-only stream as well as the video stream at dotaradio.com. They're both embedded on the index. And remember to write into the show, morningshow@dotaradio.com, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, feedback, all that kind of good stuff. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, Chris, I don't know if you'll remember, but there were a few episodes back where I was talking about my time at DreamHack and how terrible the lighting was, and I was searching for that picture and couldn't find it. I finally found it, and I saved it, and I just wanted to show it right here. Ouch. Look at that lighting. They said I looked like Marge Simpson with my hair slicked back, and that's not a bad analogy. Terrible. Look at the tie, the shirt. None of it was my choice. They gave me that tie and shirt. I laughed, but still had to wear it. God,
I've seen that picture before. It was, in fact, pretty terrifying.
My claim to fame. So, just to follow up, that was something that we had talked about, and I just wanted to make mention of how ridiculous that picture actually is, worth showing on air for sure. So, the way we work here, guys, we're going to go through our little news pieces and kind of cover what's happening in Dota, what happened this past weekend, and then we're going to bring No-Tail on as soon as he's ready. He's actually finishing that series. I think he's going to get some food and take a little rest, and we'll bring him on, probably within 10 to 15 minutes or so, give or take. Then he'll be here for the rest of the first half, and then the whole second portion of the show will be dedicated to him and talking some 7.9 action. So our first little piece of news today is an interesting one, and not particularly relevant to Dota 2, but we always talk about numbers. We always like to talk about the macroscopic part of esports here, and a big thing has happened. J-Dog is actually past Fatality in total esports earnings, which is interesting because Fatality has been kind of that number one go-to kind of most successful esports guy, one of the first guys to really turn his pro gaming career into a successful brand. You know, there are Fatality graphics cards and computers and all sorts of other stuff out there, and he's been incredible. And if we look at the screen cap here, J-Dong finally overtaking. These are just tournament winnings. These aren't salaries. These aren't contract deals, nothing like that. This is just straight winnings. And J-Dong, following BlizzCon now, $490,000 he's won in his career, and then that overtakes Fatality, who's only at $450. Flash is nipping at his heels, but I don't know. I felt like that was newsworthy here for the Dota Radio Morning Show. Chris, thoughts about J-Dong or Fatality?
Well, J-Dong, certainly, he has been a top-notch Brood War player for God knows how long. The dude's incredible. He was one of the bourgeois. There's no way you can say he doesn't deserve something like that. I think if you count contract deals, I'm pretty sure Slayer's Boxer is the highest paid esports guy ever, but I can't. Yeah, I can't.
I think that's probably true.
For you.
Yeah, it's private, but
he's also, you know, not only did he get a bunch of contract deals in Korea, he was very, very famous, but he also, of course, has gotten a bunch of coaching deals ever since. So.
Right. Yeah, Boxer is kind of that go-to poster boy for like real-life brands. You know, he's marketed a lot of stuff in Korea. So, yeah, it's sort of a misleading chart, I guess, but it's just overall winnings. Still something to mention. Now, two of our talking points are actually going to get kind of nixed here because they had to do with Charlie. The first one is, oh, look, Monolith is home from the Nexon Invitational. That's why he hasn't been here. He's been in Korea, so we were getting his account of kind of the back end of Nexon, what Seoul is like and the time he got to spend there. But alas, Fnatic was just there the week prior, so we'll get to ask No-Tail about that coming coming up. And the next little piece here that, again, Charlie was going to chime in on, so I didn't do a ton of research. Dignitas releasing Korok from their official roster, and upon a little bit more digging, it appears to be a trade for Way 2 from Liquid for Korok, which is kind of interesting. Chris, did you happen to read up on this at all?
I have no idea what happened. The article on Team Dignitas's website was very succinct. Basically said, he couldn't make Korea, and we cut him. I have to imagine there's a little more to it than that.
Yeah.
Because that seems like something that one single instance would be a pretty serious reason to cut someone. So I imagine there was some more build-up behind the scenes, but I'm not gonna speculate on what it may have been.
Succinct is a very friendly word. I looked at that article and was just like, really? You're not going to give me any more info than that? He's left immediately. We're looking for someone new immediately to attend MLG Columbus, which is, oh, by the way, in less than 2 weeks. So, again, I was hoping Charlie would be here to give us kind of the breakdown and as much back-end info as possible, but unfortunately he's not with us, so we'll just scoot right through that and use those talking points for Wednesday. One of the big things, I don't even want to talk about this anymore, and it's funny how this is such a hot-button issue. I've gotten multiple messages from people saying, dude, did you see the Diretide announcement? Now you're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about on the morning show, and I'm like, whoa, dude, are you implying that we haven't had a lot of good stuff to talk about on the morning show? Because Diretide is not something I consider primo content. But alas, Valve did delete their lies and apologize, as it may be. They have a big patch coming out, and they are going to include a delayed yet still effective Diretide. I guess they looked at that Metacritic score and said, I guess just implementing Diretide would be the easiest solution to this. So all the crybabies, that's right, I'll call you crybabies on Reddit, they got what they wanted, man. They're persistence, you complain enough and eventually somebody might listen, as sad as that may be.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last mention we had of Diretide was when the both of us said we didn't really give a crap about it, but hey, people do, they're gonna get it. And then I will say to everyone who's like, it can't be too hard. You just put Charlie up when I'm talking.
I did, by accident.
You are a monster,
I
sir.
misclicked, sorry about that.
You are a monster. Anyway, so... Oh god, I'm totally lost for a second here.
Hashtag
but everyone
fuck
is saying
Diretide.
stuff like, "Oh, it can't be that hard. Just flip the Diretide switch." No, guys, programming is not quite that easy.
Yeah. I don't know. Diretide. What are you gonna do? The Megacritic thing though, or Metacritic? Is it Mega or Meta? It's Metacritic, right? Meta. I wrote Megacritic in my notes. We all know that my dyslexia. I thought it was a joke, but it's kind of real. That whole seeking thing is like embarrassing. I went back and listened to that VOD. I'm like, I really keep calling him Sea King. He's not a bloody Pokemon. I gotta stop this. Gotta cut it out. So that is good news. There's gonna be a big patch coming, and Diretide will be a part of it. The biggest news of today, though, and news that makes me proud to be involved in Dota 2, is this MLG announcement. The bundle, we talked about how cool it is, emulating the compendium style from TI3. It has been a huge success. We were questioning it a little bit and its longevity, and maybe this is just kind of first time, like, yeah, NA Dota, everyone's really excited. Success, but it's success nonetheless. The prize pool for MLG Columbus has been more than doubled. And our good friend Cyborg Matt has made this cute little widget that keeps track. I think it updates every hour or every 40 minutes or something like that for when bundles are bought. And the community has raised an extra $51K for the base prize pool of $50,000. So we're now in the six figures for total prize pool for MLG Columbus. It's really been amazing to see everybody chipping in. Now 5th through 9th going to get a little bit of prize money to go home with. This tournament, man, we've been talking about how big it's going to be. We've been hyping the roster. We've been asking everybody's predictions, all that good stuff. But now the community finally has an opportunity to show us how excited they are about this event. And, man, have they spoken. I bet MLG is happy, to say the least, right now.
I think they're pretty fired up. I hope that Adam has managed to get the COD Ghosts plaque off the Dota 2 trophy. But aside from that... I think this is going to be a really successful event. I mean, people have proven they want it. They brought in, of course, once again for the umpteenth time, this insane all-star lineup. People are hugely supportive of it, and people are saying, "Hey, I mean, if you give us these fantastic tournaments, you had some hiccups when you did StarCraft. You've had some hiccups in the past, but you've been good to us in Dota so far. You guys have been very, very responsive to what we want, and you're trying to make everything as awesome as possible, and people are supporting them for it. Mm-hmm. Doubling the prize pool for that tournament, that's insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane. I'm so happy about it.
I am as well. It's again, it's sort of one of those things where MLG has not taken a chance on our community, I'll say, but they, switching scenes. It's sort of one of those, you want to make a good first impression. We really want to show MLG that Dota is the place to be. We're worthy of their financial support, and I think we've done just that. I say we very collectively here, but it's awesome nonetheless. So it's not over yet. If you didn't buy an MLG bundle, it's still available. $10, $2.50 of it go to the prize pool directly. So if you check out that link, it's on Cyborg Matt's website here. I'll just post it. Dota2.cyborgmatt.com/MLG. There's a link right there. That's the place to be, as it may be. I don't have a slide for this, but one of the things that I saw someone in chat talking about, that Pinoy Dota tournament, was pretty interesting. I watched a little bit of it, and I really liked the guy that was in between hosting the show. That guy was pretty sick. Did you catch any of that, Chris?
I did not.
Oh god, it was hysterical. They made the gamers do a dance competition. They made them do their best pose for in front of girls. It was awkward, but very, very funny, I guess is the right word.
Pinoys get into that. Pinoys are great. Pinoy Dota best Dota.
Yeah.
That's not true. Chinese Dota best Dota. Pinoy Dota is pretty fun.
I would say Pinoy event, best event. They're really serious about they you say what you will about their meta. They make some interesting item choices. There were some double courier strats and stuff, but they have some production value. They know how to entertain the crowd. If you show up to those events, I think you will undoubtedly have some fun, as long as you don't volunteer too willy-nilly, because that seemed to be the big thing. They ask for volunteers, and everyone sits on their hands, just I know this isn't going to be fun, and then they pick somebody, and their face is just please don't make me go up there, please don't make me go up there, and the guy on the microphone is just come on, man, this is going to be awesome, and they finally go up there, and then he's okay, so now I'm going to need you to do your sexy dance for this girl, and the girl's going to pick the one with the best seductive dance, so all the players are just I don't have a seductive club dance.
I'm too busy playing Dota to learn the sexy
so the
dance.
guy with the microphone says, all right, I'll show you how to do it. So he gets up, he starts playing the music, he's doing a normal kind of getting close to her, and then he just gets down on the floor and starts doing sit-ups, putting his head close to her crotch, just going back and forth. Just be see, something like that. You don't have to do just that, but that was just an example, and the guys on the stage were just son of bitch, I don't want to play anymore. So, all right. I vote we get No Tail on here. He says he's ready. Let's bring him on. Let's do this ad hoc. Fuck it. Why add? Oh, I wasn't ready. All right, add people. No Tail. Yes. Okay. And I feel like we were lied to.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
Yes,
how are you?
Yo, I'm good. I'm very good.
Yes, you should be after that series. So first things first, thank you for being here. I know you're a very busy man. Congratulations on taking out Rock's Kiss in that epic series. First and foremost, tell us about that series. What happened? What went right? What went wrong? And why was that last match so goddamn epic?
Well, first game, Clinks happened. That's pretty much what went horribly wrong for us. A lot of feeding. Me and Era never got to show anything because the guy we were laning against, the Clinks, suddenly got 4 kills within 5 minutes, even though he was never on our lane. That was pretty shit. I mean, I think it was mostly that we weren't ready for them. The strat, we were prepared for them to pick up Clinks, but we weren't afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the same mistake against another team, where we just ended up banning it, and then game just got way easier.
Yeah.
Third game, I think a big reason why the game went the way it did was because we had an uphill battle after we messed up a lot in the start. I almost managed to throw the game twice that game. There's the thing about Naga, we value the hero high, but the ulti is win and lose. If you go with it, it can completely lose you the game or lose you the fights or engagements, but it can also completely win it. And there was an early sleep I went for on the bottom lane, where it ended up with me and Gyro dying, 5 people coming bottom, them getting a first tower. That was gave them such a huge lead, so we had to play from behind for so long.
Right. And in that game, there were 5 Roshan kills, and I had that game on. I wasn't paying close attention till the end. Rock's Kiss got at least 4 of those Rosh kills, something like that.
All 5 of them.
They got all 5. So that was a big influence. Of course, at the end, there was a rapier on Hani to kind of seal the deal. So everybody was 6-slotted, crazy farm. Talk to me about the sheep stick on Shadow Fiend. That was one of the standout things that made me scratch my head a little bit.
It was the best. If you wouldn't have gotten the sheep stick on Honey, the game would have been. We wouldn't have had a chance. They had a puck and a quap.
Yeah.
And what do we have against a puck and a quap? The only
much.
ways to ever kill a puck and a quap for us would be clock hook into a net, and puck can phase shift the net out of the sleep. Quap can it's never easy. If you wouldn't have gotten the sheep, basically you would have lost. It was the smartest item pickup, and anyone who questions it. You're not wrong to question something, but everyone who disses it is pretty fucking retarded. Because we would have lost the game 100% without a sheep stick, and there's no other hero that could have gotten it for us. No other hero.
Yeah. All right, well said. I mean, looking back at like I said, I hadn't been paying close attention, but I think that I guess the farm difference, Hani was the one with an absurd amount of farms. So, an interesting series. And following that, now you guys have won a trip to China, correct, for G League?
Yes.
So that's pretty exciting. When will you guys actually be leaving for that? Is that coming up soon? I haven't been following G League very closely. I'm not down with the league.
As far as I know, it's going to be in December.
Okay.
Mid to I can't remember the dates exactly. That's as far as I know, it's in December.
Okay. All right, cool. So speaking of trips to Asia, talk to us about your time in the Nexon Invitational Super Match a little bit. You guys played pretty well. We got to see the awesome production from our end at home. How was it actually being at the event? Was the production on site kind of as cool as it seems at home?
Nowhere near anything you have in Europe, I'd say.
Yeah.
The only thing that I guess would compare to the level of production would be international, that I've attended.
Okay.
Production value at DreamHack is pretty alright, but it's not taken nearly as serious and on schedule as it was in Korea or in America. Not nearly as much. Everything had to be on time.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was very serious. Everything was very nice. You had a lot of people to help you out with anything you needed. You're on your own at DreamHack, for instance. You're thirsty, you're hungry, fuck you. But everywhere else is what can I do for you, and so on. So it was a great experience. It was very nice. Great place to go as a player.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, overall, I was also happy with how we played there in Korea.
So did you guys get to do anything exciting in Seoul? Catch any of the nightlife? Get some delicious cuisine?
We did get to experience the culture a little. We made our own Hangover movie part 1.
Oh, okay. Was it
pretty much just without any cameras being there? Luckily. But it was good. It was very nice.
Yeah, awesome. So I have a sort of a slew of questions here about the upcoming patch. We may take a short break because we cut our VODs in half before we get into the thick of it. We have some Reddit questions as well. Talk to us about the state of Fnatic in general right now. You guys are, I think, safe to say, the most stable team in Dota 2 right now in terms of how long your roster's been together and then your history, even before Dota and Heroes of Newerth. Talk to us about that a little bit. One, what's the trick to keeping your roster together for so long, as it seems most other teams can't do it or don't want to? And B, how is it going? Do you guys get along really well? Are you guys great friends outside of Dota? How's all that stuff?
Well, I think most of that would be a given. I mean, you wouldn't stay together if you're not having a good time, Not at least not for that long.
Yeah.
But one big thing it takes, if you want to stay together for that long, is to have shared goals. If you don't have the same goal or same ambitions, you're not going to stick together for that long, because it's a lot of time dedication.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone has a different goal or a different ambition with what they want to achieve, with just spending so much time on this, it's not going to work. So I'd say we're all pretty much on the same page. We're not all of us committing 100% to playing. We still have stuff next to it, but we're committing 95, 98% to Dota. We made that clear. Everyone knows, and
right.
Obviously, maybe it's not obvious for everyone, but I would say that friendship is what makes a team good as well.
I wouldn't say that it's obvious, just because from our perspective, we really don't know if you guys get along or if every game you're yelling at each other and, you're just together because you want to win money or what have you. Because we never, I can't remember the last time I heard a team interaction in any kind of public venue or heard a Skype chat during a game. So we really don't get a big taste of it. So that is the key. Just you have to be good friends aside, Dota aside.
Yeah, I've never been in a team. I started in Heroes of North. I started playing with Fly and Trixie
Right.
back then, and ever since that, it's been so much about how you do outside the games. Like as friends, do you have fun playing?
Mhm.
That's kind of like if it's not there, it has been rough patches where you feel like people are not dedicating as much as they say they want to. They share the goals, but not the dedication.
Right.
But then you gotta make it clear what you want, what you expect from others. Like it's business, but it's
Mhm.
also pleasure. Like this is it's pretty much everyone's passion, and they get to have their passion as their work. So for all of us, I think we enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's something that all of us want to do and want to keep going. But
Awesome.
yeah, no, it's not all fun and games. Like you do have times where people are gonna disagree with each other, and since it's business, it's not always that straightforward and that simple.
Right.
But yeah, it's like we have a special bond that we wouldn't have with just any other team. Like we don't have same
Yeah.
friendship with other team members because we're on the same team as them. We're a team.
Right. Yeah, and that history predating Dota 2 is something almost unique to you guys in terms of how stable your roster was back in the days of Heroes of Newerth. I still remember the days of Fnatic just steamrolling through Heroes of Newerth, winning DreamHack after DreamHack after DreamHack, and then retiring undefeated. A good run. So talk to us about scheduling right now. We've been sort of hearing tidbits about obviously the issue with Alliance and Sigma that happened last week with overscheduling. There's a lot of tournaments right now, the sort of big tournaments as well, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 prize pools. How are you guys managing your time? Are you finding that there's an oversaturation of tournaments where you're having to actually say, no, sorry, we won't be participating in Star Ladder Season 7 or Season 8 and stuff like that because the schedule is just too much? There aren't enough hours in a day? Or do you guys think it's at a good pace right now where you're able to play all the time and also, that the flip side is you have to play all the time, but there's a lot more money up for grabs. So where's the balance for you guys on that front?
It's a very, very fine balance for all of us, I think. Some of us have an easier time getting to all the matches, have to make less sacrifices, but I think all of us are making sacrifices to make the schedule fit right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's ever been as busy as it has been since a couple of months ago. Like that's when it started, or maybe like last month. After that, it's just been traveling and online games all the time. It's good for your Dota skill, but it's less good for making your real life commitments and so on.
Right.
Pleased, like, or I don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fine balance right now, but we're making it work, and yeah, at the moment, I think we're all happy with what we're all putting into it. So right now, everything's going pretty good for us.
Awesome. And on that note, we're going to move into a short break here, guys. We're going to take about a 2-minute break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk some current patch action. We're going to talk Wisp. We're going to talk 6.79 and get No-Tail's take on what's going on in the meta right now. Guys, don't go anywhere. Dota Radio Morning Show coming back here in just 2 minutes.